यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा बनचारी जमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा बनचारी यमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे, जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। जय नरसिंहदेव प्रहलादेश जय नरसिंहदेव। जय जय प्रभुपाद हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंद। हरे कृष्ण। So first of all, I feel very unqualified to sit over here and speak in front of all of you. Being a genuine vegan, not out of just as a matter of etiquette, but because actually sitting on this exalted seat and speaking, including myself, not fluently or or good. It requires spiritual by mercy of devotees, and is very easily available but not cheaply available. Mercy is easy but not. See, we have to have our own flavor of our sadhana. So, and for a good sadhana, we require a regulated lifestyle, which is very helpful. So I seek your blessings. If you feel anything I'm speaking is pleasing to you, seek your blessings that I can develop a regulated lifestyle for better sadhana, so that I can receive the mercy. So we'll start Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, Chapter 6th, Text 4. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we'll start the text. Nityam Dadati Kamasya Chidram Tam Anu Yerayah Yoginah Kratamaitrasya Patyur Jayeva Punchali Nityam Dadati Kamasya Chidram Tam Anuyerayah Yoginam Kratamaistrasya Patyurjayeva Punchali Nityam Dadati Kamasya Chidram Tam Anuyerayah Yoginah Kratamaitrasya Patyurjayeva Punchali Nityam Dadati Kamasya Chidram Tam Anuyerayah Yoginah Kratamaistrasya Patyurjayeva Punchali. Nityam Dadati Kamasya Chidram Tam Anuyerayah Yoginah Kratamaitrasya Patyurjayeva Punchali Nityam Dadati Kamasya Chidram Tam Anuyerayah योगिनः कृतमैत्रस्य पत्युर्जायेव पुंश्चली नित्यं ददाति कामस्य छिद्रं तम् अनुयेरयः योगिनः कृतमैत्रस्य पत्युर्जायेव पुंश्चली नित्यं ददाति कामस्य छिद्रं तम् अनुयेरयः योगिनः कृतमैत्रस्य पत्युर्जायेव पुंश्चली नित्यं ददाति कामस्य छिद्रं तम् अनुयेरयः योगिनः कृतमैत्रस्य पत्युर्जायेव पुंश्चली माताजी नित्यं ददाति कामस्य छिद्रं तम् अनुयेरयः पत्युर्जायेव पुंश्चली नित्यं always dadati gives kamasya of lust chidram facility tam that lust anu following ye those arayah enemies yoginah of the yogis or persons trying to advance in spiritual life kritamaitrasya having put faith in the mind patyuhu of the husband jaya iva like the wife pumshchali who is unchaste or easily carried away by other men. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Any unchaste woman is very easily carried away by paramours, and it sometimes happens that her husband is violently killed by her paramours. If the yogi gives his mind a chance and does not restrain it, his mind will give facility to enemies like lust, anger and greed, and they will doubtlessly kill the yogi. Purport. In this verse, the word Pumshchali refers to a woman who is easily carried away by men. Such a woman is never to be trusted. Unfortunately, in the present age, women are never controlled. According to the directions of the Shastras, women are never to be given freedom. When a child, a woman must be strictly controlled by her father. When she is young, she must be strictly controlled by her husband. And when she is old, she must be controlled by her elderly sons. If she is given independence and allowed to mingle unrestrictedly with men, she will be spoiled. A spoiled woman being manipulated by paramours might even kill her husband. The example is given here because the yogi, desiring to get free from material conditions, must always keep his mind under control. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that in the morning our first business should be to beat the mind with shoes 100 times, and before going to bed to beat the mind 100 times with a broomstick. In this way, one's mind can be kept under control. An uncontrolled mind and an unchaste wife are the same. An unchaste wife can kill her husband at any time, and an uncontrolled mind followed by lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, and illusion can certainly kill the yogi. When the yogi is controlled by the mind, he falls down into the material condition. One should be very careful of the mind, just as a husband should be careful of an unchaste wife. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschartya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurat Vishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada in this purport, very very instructive shloka, and Srila Prabhupada brings about 2 points, two themes basically in this purport. One is about our own controlling the mind. How can the mind be controlled? At the same time, he also points on the degraded condition of today's society and the unfortunate degraded condition of so-called modern women. So anyway, for this second point to discuss on the condition of the woman today, it's better to, because it's a long topic. If anybody is interested, they can go through this wonderful masterpiece by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, Women Masters or Mothers. A wonderful masterpiece. And so anyway, we won't be able to discuss that point. But here, very interesting that Srila Prabhupada, you see, in his purports, at some places, and even in discussion with some of his disciples and other people, he sometimes Prabhupada totally doesn't give any importance to the mind. Or some person came and asked Prabhupada, how can we control the mind, Prabhupada? And Prabhupada said, I mean, while chanting, I can't focus my mind. Prabhupada said, all you have to do is just speak and listen. Where is the question of mind? So he's saying, don't worry. Many times Prabhupada said, don't bother about this. Just surrender to Krishna, will take care of your mind. And at some other places, he gives so much focus on the dangers of controlling the mind, dangers of an uncontrolled mind. You see, how to control the mind, how to avoid Maya. So sometimes if we don't see it in completely, then we may get an idea that Prabhupada is contradicting himself. But there is no contradiction. You see, any stage, anything in this world you want to do, there are, because this is a world of dualities, there will be some positive attached to it and some negatives attached to it. And you have to take care of both of them. Even while walking, when we are moving forward, whether we should put our leg on the ground or we should lift the leg from the ground, both we have to do. Front foot we have to put on the ground, the rear foot we have to lift from the ground. That's how we walk. When we are growing some flowers to offer to Radha Madan Mohan, both positive and negative things are involved. Positive, we have to plant the rose plant, then we have to water it, we have to give manure. And negatives, we have to pull out the weeds, throw them away, otherwise they will kill the plant. जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन ललिता विशाखा देवी की जय, कृष्ण बलराम की जय, प्रहलादेश नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय, श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. And Krishna also explains to control the mind, both the things are required. Abhyasena tu kaunte, vairagyena sakriyate. Both the things, abhyas, positive activities in bhakti yoga, and negative things to avoid. So similarly, but general tendency in our spiritual life we see over a period of time, general tendency happens, not to everyone, to many of them. Personally, I saw with myself, tendencies to go to the extremes, because the mind has a nature, it wants to delve into those things which suits it. Mind likes something and it gets that thing, it tries to and avoid the negative things which the mind doesn't like it. For example, and that is why, devotees many a times, they relish those kathas, those parts of this of these pastimes which highlight the mercy aspect of the Lord. And many a times, even the non-devotees, when we preach to the non-devotees, we start with how merciful Krishna is. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam. He can give liberation to the demon also, that Putana demon. He gave Dhatri Pad. What to speak of you? What to speak of us? So the mind, and even we like to relish those pastimes of the Lord, which just very much focus on the mercy aspect of the Lord. But there is another aspect of the Lord also, which many a times we don't try to, and that is the aspect when the Lord punishes. Because, but you see, the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, they don't just present one side of the picture. They present the total picture, and out of which many times conveniently we take that part, thinking that, oh, this is for the demons. I am not going to get that solid rod of chastisement, of the Lord. That is why there are so many stories of how Narsinghdev's mercy on various devotees. Narsinghdeva curing cancer, Narsinghdeva, treating, caring for lifting that small girl and placing away from the road. So many, and these are actually, these stories are these stories give us a lot of, gratitude, lots of positive strength it gives. But we have to understand one thing, without focusing on our internal stage of the heart, these stories won't last long. in our, we may have gratitude for the Lord, but again, because of this so much of anartha in the heart, they will not make a lasting impact. While at the same time, for example, if the field is not plowed and we put the best quality grains, some seedling may grow, but because it is not plowed nicely, then it will not have a lasting effect. Similarly, till the heart is not plowed, till we are not focused on our calm, krodh, lobh, moh, manmatsa, we cannot relish the real, the mercy of the Lord's mercy is flowing, but we cannot see that mercy. And you see the scriptures, most of the stories, they have this both the aspects. Whether you see the stories of like, we are very fascinated when, especially when we go in Kuwait, we were going to the different houses to and in Gulf it's very common now here also, fortunately, that during Damodar month, going to different houses and conducting Damodar Aarti. And these pious Hindus, those who are, they don't have time for spiritual life, but they're very, very enthusiastic. Oh, something is happening in some holy thing is happening in our house. And so they invite the devotees and they conduct this Damodar Aarti, and we have this Damodar Leela also. And it's very fascinating for them that how these demigods who offended Narad Muni, and they were actually, Krishna personally appeared and liberated them. So merciful Krishna is. But just take a step backward and think what they went through actually. Imagine a person who is a big CEO of a multinational corporation, the owner of a multinational billionaire corporation, and one day the stock market crashes and he is under a debt of some $500 million and he has nothing. He becomes a beggar. People commit suicide. Prabhupada explains that and it happened during this recession, the Great Recession of 1900, the 20s or 30s in America. They were jumping from those same buildings which they constructed. They couldn't take it up. They couldn't take that, that poverty. It was so painful, worse than death. Imagine the wealth of all this earth planet put together. It's not even like, even a beggar in Swarg Lokas, if there is any. He must be having more money than what we have together. And of that, Nalkuvar and Manigri were the sons of the treasurer, one who is in control of all the money. And they were enjoying fully with all the riches, all the power. They were the spoiled sons of their father. And all of a sudden, Narad Muni, they happened to offend Narad Muni, and Narad Muni cursed. You become trees. You want to remain naked? Become trees. And what kind of trees? See, one thing is suffering in ignorance, and other is suffering with knowledge. See, a tree is standing for 5,000 years or whatever time, and doesn't have much consciousness. It has to suffer without understanding. Like a drunkard lying down in gutter. So, I'm enjoying. He feels, because the consciousness is so subdued. But a sane person fallen in gutter, it's horrible for him. It's obnoxious. Similarly, the Narad Muni not only gave them this curse, but they had their full consciousness. Acharyas explained that they were not just standing, they were actually, they remembered everything, that we were sons of Kuvera, Nalkuvar and Manigri. And so their mind was on fully developed consciousness, but they were like standing like trees. How much painful. See, when we sleep for 8 hours, Do we feel any difficulty when we go to sleep dark? No, not difficulty. We sleep at night exhausted, get up in the morning fresh. That sleep is like actually in one way it's a blessing. But imagine we are not getting a sleep. Some days we are not able to sleep, but everyone is sleeping, it's dark, we can't do anything, so we just lie down on the bed. Half an hour becomes so painful, so pathetic, because this is suffering in knowledge. We are having knowledge of it. Nalkuvar and Manigriv stood for 100 celestial years, tolerating scorching heat, tolerating the storms and rains and winter. Winter in Vrindavan, we all have an experience, and that was 5,000 years ago. Now, because of pollution, but imagine in that situation for 100 celestial years they were repenting. And after this repentance, when they were thoroughly purified, they got the mercy of Krishna. So mercy is easy but not cheap. Similarly, you see the story of Gajendra. How much he suffered? 100 celestial years. And one celestial year is how much? 6 months is 1 day of demigods. And another 6 months is 1 night. So 1 day is around our 1 year. 100 celestial years means a very long time. So Gajendra was suffering for 100 celestial years. So you see this aspect of the Lord. Putana. We see, Putana came and she killed. But imagine, Krishna is not impartial. And we know that Krishna purified Putana completely and gave her the position of Dhatri. And what happens if how much sinful Putana was? She killed thousands and thousands of young babies. Now I got a young baby. So tender they are. You touch them and they start crying, and they suddenly and I'm working in the hospital where daily I'm treating newborn babies, and you touch them and they suddenly get shaken. They're so tender, so soft, and how can you think of harming them? She was ruthlessly killing. That was her favorite pastime, or rather time pass, to murder them and suck their blood. She was such a demoness. And Krishna killed her in few moments. Now imagine we have an exam to pass. The 12th board exam is there, and we have to pass that exam, how much we have to study and how much anxiety we have to go through. Whole year we have to study. And now imagine we have to pass that exam, we have to come that entire syllabus of 1 year, if it has to be shrunk into 1 day. How much anxiety, how much stress, and how much efforts will it require? Right. So Putana went through all that pain which she was supposed to suffer in billions of years in the hell. Krishna gave that pain and he purified him. Of course, we don't know how much pain, but because Krishna is impartial. Krishna doesn't samoham sarva bhuteshu name doeshosti na pri. So what the point is that there are both the aspects of the Lord which are equally beneficial. The mercy aspect of the Lord as well as his punishing aspect of the Lord. Therefore, see, if we don't focus on both of them, many times what happens is we expect Lord's mercy, but when the Lord gives his mercy in a different way, we complain. See, there are two types of reactions some devotees might feel. One is, first of all, we do something which is indiscriminate, which is not according to the Shastras, we commit a mistake. Then sometimes the tendency is, of some devotees, the tendency is, when the reaction comes, when the material nature gives a reaction, we complain. Why did this happen to me? After all, I am a devotee. I'm chanting 16 rounds for so many years. I have, I'm practicing this Krishna consciousness. Why Krishna is so, so formal? Can't he? He says he's ye bhajanti tu ma bhaktya. He's partial to devotee. Why can't he be little partial and allay me from my suffering? For example, we eat indiscriminately. We live a lifestyle, very unhealthy lifestyle. Suppose where we are eating which is not to be eaten. At night time we are eating heavy food stuff. We are fond of eating sweets. Too much sweets we are eating. We are, all that food which is unhealthy, and we are eating for years and years and years together. And at one point of time, what happens? We develop hypertension, or we develop diabetes, or we eat up, and we don't take care of our health, and we start gaining weight to an extent that we develop arthritis. And when it happens, then there are two types of reactions. One is to complain. Oh, why Krishna gave this hypertension to me? Now I'm not able to serve Krishna properly. Or another reaction, another way is, okay, that is my own karma. Oh no, that is not my karma. Many times, that is my destiny. That is also blaming Krishna in an indirect way. You see, Krishna is blamed by non-devotees. Krishna is blamed by atheists. Krishna is blamed by demons, and Krishna is blamed by devotees also. Why did Krishna do this to me? You see, that is why we have to understand material nature. We cannot, when we are working in the domain of material world, we have to respect the laws of material nature. We cannot say that, oh, I am Krishna conscious, I will do as I like. No. Then the reactions will come. So both the aspects of it. So when we think that, oh, that is my destiny, then what? Indirectly we are saying, no, there is no mistake of mine. I will not rectify. So this is how mind control is also done in both positive and negative ways. Mainly in positives, we don't indulge so much in the negativities, controlling the anartha, each and every anartha individually. Like some devotee gave an explanation that if you want to, in the rice field, if you want to, there are so many weeds growing. So there are two ways. One, you can pull out each and every weed together, one by one, and there is every chance that after some time the weeds will again grow. And there is another way, you flood the field with water. So in 2-3 days, see, for the rice, the more water, the better. The rice will grow very nicely, and the weeds will dry away. So similarly, we can focus on each and every anartha individually. Oh, I have lust, I should work on my lust. Then again, after some time, again grows away like head of the Ravan. But another way is to drown ourselves, to flood our heart with the Sankirtan. And Sankirtan, the holy name of the Lord, slowly the weeds wither away. At the same time, we have to understand that we cannot neglect. This is one way, positive aspect. But at the same time, we have to be very careful of developing a tendency, developing a practice of internalizing and actually checking from time to time in our heart how much progress we have made, what things I can work upon. So, otherwise what happens? And extremely careful in dealing with the opposite sex. Extremely careful. In fact, all our acharyas, scriptures are full of examples how little negligence and person fell down. We have contemporary examples in our in present day world. Devotees up to the level of sannyasis. Little negligence, unintentional, and how there was such a disaster. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was some 80 years old, very, very old. And one of his disciples' wife once told that, I want to discuss with you, I have something to ask you. I want to ask you in private, in alone. And Saraswati Thakur said that whatever you have to say in front of these disciples of mine. I cannot talk to you alone. At the 80 years of old, a Mahabhagavad devotee, a Paramhamsa, he is putting an example. Not that he's, we understand, great devotees, they don't do things as we are supposed to do. And they do to set an example. In Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he writes that when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to give initiation to his disciple, young disciple especially, he gave, in a very, very formal way, maybe from a curtain or something like that, very formally used to give it. Very careful, setting an example that how careful to deal with this. You see, there is a very wonderful story which actually explains Lord's mercy as well as gives a very good instructions for practicing sadhakas. In Shri Sampradaya, there are great devotees. There are 12 great, like we have Mahajans, Jai Shri Radha Madan Mohan Lalita Vishakha Devi ki, Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Gaur Netai ki Jai, Prahladesh Narsingh Dev Bhagwan ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. There are 12 great saints who were born, who appeared in South India in the Shri Vaishnav line, and they appeared at the junction of Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga, some 5,000 years ago, from 5,500 years to some 3,000 years. I mean, in that time, they are called as the Alvars. And what is the meaning of Alvar? Alvar means one who is drowned in Krishna Prem, in the love of God. That is called Alvar. So, one of them we know of is King Kulashekar Alvar. Another is Andal. Then there are many others. So, one of them is Thondaredi Podi Alvar. Thondar Adi Podi Alvar. He was, and Shri Vaishnavas, they believe that these Alvars are actually, they explain that the Alvars are the incarnations of different paraphernalia of Lord Narayan. Like King Kulashekar is considered incarnation of Kaustubhamani. Then Tirumal Shai Alvar is considered an incarnation of Lord's Sudarshan Chakra, like Kaumudiki Gada. Then similarly, the incarnation of expansion or incarnation of Lord's Vaijanti Mala is Thondaradi Podi Alvar. He was born, or he appeared as his name was Vipra Narayan. He was born in a Brahmin family, and his from the childhood he was totally immersed in serving Lord Ranganath in Srirangam, and his service was taking care of the flower garden, and daily he was plucking flowers, caring for those plants, and preparing nice garlands to offer to Lord Ranganath. And he was a Naishtik Brahmachari. From childhood, he was totally disinterested in any sense gratification. It so happened one day he was working in this garden of Lord Ranganath, and that time some dancing girls from the court of the Chola king, the king of that province, they happened to pass by from this garden, and Vipra Narayan was so immersed in his seva, he didn't even notice the movements, the passing of these girls, their this what you call this gungru, ankle bells, and their he didn't notice at all. And one of the chief of these girls, the youngest and the most beautiful, of these dancing girls, her name was Devadevi. And Devadevi asked her friends who were accompanying her, who is this person who is not even noticing me? The king is attracted to me. So many people, they want to just have a glimpse of me, and I'm passing when he's not even looking. They said, he is Vipra Narayan. He is a devotee of Lord Ranganath, and therefore your beauty has no effect, because he has seen the beauty of Lord Ranganath. He's attracted to the beauty of Lord Ranganath, so your beauty is have no effect on him. And Devadevi was offended, and she said, I bet, I can bring this person down. So this friend said, no, well, you bet. I will make this person my slave. He will come running to me. And there was a bet. And they agreed. Then what happened? Devadevi, she went and she changed her attire, she changed her dress, and she appeared, she put a vesh of a sannyasin. She became like a sannyasin, a saffron colored sari and everything, and she went to Vipra Narayan and she requested, I am such a, you are serving Lord Ranganath in such a wonderful way, I also want to assist you, I want to serve you. And Vipra Narayan, he was so so simple at heart. He had never seen anything, any sense gratification. All he had seen was just like Rishi Shringa. They have only seen sadhu, saints, no sense gratification. So he allowed. See, the danger starts here. Ignorance is not an excuse for mistakes. Goat is very innocent. The butcher is cutting other goats and is so ignorant, totally immersed in just eating that grass. But that is not an excuse. It cannot be saved by that. The scriptures explain sannyas is not for women. In fact, a lone woman is not, women cannot be alone. Vipra Narayan, he didn't pay attention to this verdict of the scriptures. That is why here it is said, see, what is the meaning of Pumschali? Pumsa means Manushya. Pumsa means a man. And Chali means moving. One who is easily carried away by men, by other men. Pumsh Chali. Hindi we call Punchali. This is the actually meaning. So they agreed. And see how Maya attacks a devotee. Maya doesn't attack grossly. Oh, Vipra Narayan, come, we will enjoy. No. To Haridas Thakur, Maya came, and that too, Maya didn't come in a way that I want to make you fall down. She was enticing Haridas Thakur to, so that to arouse lust in his heart when it was none. But then she came in a very, very conducive way. Like, oh Prabhuji, you are doing such a nice seva. You are such a wonderful devotee. And we start feeling, oh, this Mataji, nobody appreciates my seva. All my authority is always scolding me. You did this wrong. Only this Mataji has realized. Feels so nice to at least there is somebody. Okay, she is female, but she is actually appreciating me. What is the bad in it? Dhyayate vishayan pumsa. Then next day, oh, today, she's sick or what? She didn't come today to the temple. Oh, then sangasteshu upajayate. Sangat sanjayate kama. Then very fast. From dhyayate vishayan pumsa to buddhi nashat pranashyati. It is like, coming down that, what you call that, Phisal Patti. Right? You have to, very high, you have to climb with great effort to reach that portion. Sadhana is very difficult. Every day, getting up at 4:30, taking a cold bath, climbing, and from that point, it's like to come down is like, what do you call that? Phisal Patti slide, and that too lot of oil on it. Once you slide, it feels so comfortable. Very nice. We don't even want to see it. But when we come down, there is a big pond of, kichad, mud, where we fall down. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa. So sometimes it happens. That is why scriptures give ample examples to be careful of this. Prabhupada very clear. Butter and fire. Butter will melt. Invariably butter will melt. We cannot say, oh, I'm a very, very insulated, very strong butter. Not possible. Butter is butter, fire is fire. It's not that woman is wrong. You see, it's not that, like, once a devotee in Chowpatty, I remember, long time back, one very senior devotee, but some 15-20 years back, he was explaining that once he said to, and that time the Chowpatty temple was very small, it's a building where we go. That time there were only few rooms, and down there were 3-4 coaching classes, some other, lots and lots of things were there. Gradually it expanded, devotees bought those areas and made a full temple. So that time there were some coaching classes, and some young girls who used to go for coaching, sometimes they used to go up in the temple hall to take darshan, and they were in very minimal clothes. So this one devotee, he said to Radhanath Swami Maharaj, it's so obnoxious, these girls, they come half naked. So Maharaj, in his typical style, he said, these girls are not half naked. Then he was shocked. Your vision is half naked. Then this devotee was saying, yes, actually for pure devotees, they are like the gopis. So we have to be careful. So these stories are not to condemn the opposite sex, but to understand that we have to be so careful, because we can, sway anytime. So then Dev Devi, she was serving, and slowly she developed, Vipranarayan developed a sympathy for her, not attraction, but a feeling that, oh, she's such a nice person, she's so nice servant. And he started developing sympathy. One day, she was serving since morning till evening, and one day it got late, and it was the time of rains, and it started raining, and she was shivering. And Vipranarayan had his single hut nearby. So Vipranarayan saw, and he invited her. Okay, out of compassion, where will she go? It's all forest, like Dhruva Maharaj. Where will she go? It's all like forest. Okay, you can stay in this hut with me tonight. And that was the chance Dev Devi was looking for. And that time she started showing her real, intention. And she started to, she was totally drenched. Her sari was drenched and both were alone. And she gradually enticed Vipranarayan. And Vipranarayan fell down. See, such a painful, such a loss. Already, a devotee of the Lord is so rare in this world. Because of mercy of Prabhupada, we are actually able to see the devotees. Before coming to ISKCON, how many genuine devotees we came across? That is why scriptures, they are not some allegory. They are facts. Muktanam api siddhanam Narayan Parayana Sudurlabha Prashantatma Koteshwapi Mahamune. Muktanam api siddhanam, all those who are liberated people and those who are yogis, siddha people, even amongst those, Narayana Parayana, a person who is dedicated to Lord Narayan, Koteshwapi Mahamuni. Oh Mahamuni, it is even out of crores and crores of such people, hardly one devotee will find. It's so rare. It's only by mercy of Prabhupada, that is actually the potency of a Acharya. That is why we are able to. So, such a loss. First of all, a devotee, that to a brahmachari, that to a Naishtik brahmachari, falling down. It's a great loss. But then, Vipranarayan was now under the clutches of Devdevi. And he totally fell down from his position. He became attached. And then, just as it happens, after some time, Devdevi left Vipranarayan and went to her palace, her house. And Vipranarayan was totally mad after her. He started running to her and she said to her servants not to allow him inside. And Vipranarayan was mad after her, crying, and he left his service and totally rejected and became like a madman. Just like Maharaj Pururava after Urvashi. And one day, Lord Ranganath's procession was going on. And Vipranarayan was just, roaming like a madman. And Lakshmi Devi, when she saw, she requested the Lord Narayan that, you see, you are so merciful even to demons. And this Vipranarayan is you are such a nice devotee, he has rendered so much service to you. How can you leave him in such a condition? And Lord Narayan said, yes, I know. And I will very soon bring him back. Don't worry, very soon I will bring him back. And then it so happened, one person, the Lord took a form of a servant, of an ordinary servant. And in Lord Ranganath's, the bhoga offering was offered in huge plate made of pure silver. And we know the size of Lord Ranganath. We cannot offer in small plate. The huge plates. So he took that huge plate of pure silver and went to the house of Devdevi and said, I am a servant of Vipranarayan. This plate has been sent by Vipranarayan to you as a gift. And she saw a huge plate made of pure silver. She thought, maybe this Vipranarayan has got a lot of money now. So then, this time when Vipranarayan came, he used to daily go to Devdevi and daily got rejected. This time he went and Devdevi invited and he was shocked. And she was so loving, so nice, so caring, and she gave all the pleasure to Vipranarayan and he was happy. In the meantime, it so happened in the morning time, Vipranarayan went at night, and in the morning time, what it so happened, there was the pujaris opened the door for bhoga. Where is the plate? And pujaris, they got very scared that if the king comes to know that the plate is missing, he might think that we have stolen it. So he might punish us severely. So what to do? They directly went, all of them went to the king. And my dear king, this has happened and we don't know anything. And king became very angry. And he announced, anybody who has stolen this plate, better you return it, otherwise you will be severely punished. So Devi came to know such and such thing has happened, and she thought maybe this plate is there. She took that plate to the king, and king became very angry seeing it. You wretched rascal woman, how dare you do this? He said, listen, my dear king, this is not, I have not done it. This Bipranarayan gave it to me. Bipranarayan, he sent through his servant, and that's how I got it. You take it back. And king became very angry. He called, got Bipranarayan arrested. Asked, how did you get this plate? He said, which plate? I don't know anything. So king thought he is hiding his crime. So king put him in jail. Now poor Bipranarayan, he was in jail. And Lakshmi was again telling, you told you will, save him. What you have done? He said, oh, wait. That night, Lord Narayan came in the dream of this king and said, my dear king, you see, you have wrongly arrested Bipranarayan. Please understand, he is not at fault. I personally took that plate and gave it to this woman so that I can bring my servant back to me, my dear servant. When king heard it, and king got up from the sleep, immediately he ran to this jail, and he prostrated before Bipranarayan and begged forgiveness that I have committed such an offense. Please forgive me. And he immediately released. And when Bipranarayan came to know that the Lord personally became my servant to save me, that time his heart started repenting. And then he never looked back. And that time his name, he accepted one name, that is Thondaradi Podi, and which means in Tamil, Thondaradi Podi means a dust at the lotus feet of devotees. He is one of those Alvars. So you see how much instructive this story is. A person, he is not ordinary, incarnation of Vaijayanti Mala of the Lord, personal associate of the Lord. So this is the danger of just giving to the mind a little bit. So I'll stop here. At the same time, I seek blessings of all of you so that I can also do a little bit, try to control. Actually, controlling the mind is not possible without the mercy of the Vaishnavas. So with these request of your blessings, I stop here. Thank you very much. It's already late. Do we have time for a question or so? If no, then we'll stop here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Samved Bhaktavrind ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.